In change of subject or formula, it's very important to take note. Your subject must always be on the left hand side of the equal sign. Alright? Your subject must always be on the left hand side of the equal sign. Alright? There are three rules that I want you all to be familiar with. So I'm just going to quickly go through the three rules with you. Rule number one. If 2x is equal to 1, I want to make x the subject, I will need to divide by 2. Alright? Rule number two. Y plus 2 is equal to 3. I want to make y the subject. I will need to balance the extra term of positive 2 on the other side. So in other words, if I have to balance positive 2 on the right hand side, it becomes a negative 2. So y will be equal to 3 minus 2, which will be equal to 1. Last but not least, rule number 3 states that whenever we have fraction, I would like to make sure there is a single fraction on each side. So if you are given that z over 2 is equal to 3, I will need to convert my 3 as 3 over 1. Before I do my cross multiplication, then you will have z is equal to 2 times 3, which will give you 6. These are the three rules which are very important for you in doing your questions on change of subject. We are going to try the following examples. So please take note. If you feel you can do the question, you can pause the video and just try the question before you check your answers with me. Alright, I'm going to go through 4a now. X is supposed to be the subject, meaning it must be on the left side of the equal sign. And you can see x over here, but there's an extra term. What do you do to the positive a? You will need to balance it to the other side to become a negative a. Alright, this is according to rule number 2. X is the only subject. So if I want to make x the subject, apply rule number 1. You will need to divide by 2. Alright, take a look at B. A is my subject. It must be on the left side. Both A are on the left side. But I only want a singular A. I do not want two terms of A. Apply previously. A is a common term in both. So I will need to factorize. Alright, you can see that this is seen as A multiplied by B plus 1. Alright, according to rule number 1, what do I need to do? I will need to divide by B plus 1. Okay, moving on to C. There is a fraction on the right side. I must make sure my left side has a fraction before I do my cross multiplication. Let me write everything out first. I need to get rid of the fraction, meaning I will need to simplify or expand. Remember, we only want those terms with t on the left hand side. Those terms without t, please balance it on the right hand side. I want that t, so it becomes a negative t. Negative ya, balance it on the right side, becomes a positive ya. Alright, I want a single term in t, so I'm going to factorize it. And apply what you did in the previous question. According to rule 1, I will need to divide. Please take note in part D, make x the subject. Alright? I want to make x the subject. X itself is already on the left hand side of the equal sign. I will just have to continue writing the whole term in terms of x. But according to rule 2, I will need to balance my a on the other side. Becomes a negative a. Okay, first thing, I will need to divide by 2. After that, in order for me to get rid of square, because this is an x square, okay, please take note of your point 3 over here. If b square equal to n, you need to square root on both sides and apply a positive square root or a negative square root. However, if it's a b cube, you don't have to do so, just have to have cube root. Okay, this is a square root. So whenever you apply square root, please take note, it's very important to write plus minus. If you forget to write plus minus, 1 mark will be deducted away. Alright, going on to part E. What you see in part E is I want to make K the subject. Again, I'm dealing with fraction. Let me convert to a single fraction on each side and do my cross multiplication. Okay, please take note, I want k to be the subject. However, there's only k on the right side. There's no k on the left side. In this case, this is what I call a mutual swap. What you see on the right side, rewrite on the left. What you see on the left side, rewrite on the right. This is what we call a mutual swap. Alright, rather than balancing the terms, which becomes very complicated. I only want to make k the subject, so k square stay. Balance your positive h square on the other side becomes a negative h square. Last but not least, I want to make k the subject. Remember, I need to apply square root with a positive and negative root. Next, in part F, before I can do the question, I realize my A is on the right side. But I'm still stuck. Why? Because there is a square root. If I need to get rid of a square root, I need to square the whole term. The square must be applied to m to get an m square. And when the square is applied to the term on the right hand side, the square root will be gone. Again, I want A to be the subject. So let me do a mutual swap. Balance the negative p on the right side becomes a positive p. Alright, I only want A to be the subject. Notice I can factorize the A out. So in other words, my A will be m squared plus p divided by 2x. Part G has two methods. Let me do the conventional method. Okay, what is the conventional method? There must be a single fraction on each side. So what do I do? The left side has two fractions. Let me combine into a single fraction. After that, you can do your cross multiplication. Simplify and expand. I want to make A the subject. So meaning all the A must be on the left hand side. Okay, let me do a mutual swap first to make it neater, because I don't like to deal with negative sign. After that, balance all those terms with A on the left hand side. So it becomes a positive 2AC. Factorize the A. After that, finally, you will need to divide by the bracket term. Okay, this is one method. I'm going to teach you another method, but the second method you have to be very careful. Alright, look at my second method. 1 over A has A. Very good, let it stay. Negative 2 over B, let me balance it on the other side. It becomes a positive 2 over B. After that, let me change everything to a single fraction again. Okay, I need to make sure I have a single fraction on each side. Then I can apply the reciprocal. What do I mean by the reciprocal? That means whatever you see at the numerator, you write as a denominator. Whatever you see at the denominator, you write as a numerator. So this becomes A is equal to CB over 3B plus 2C. Notice the two are the same. But this method 2 is unique only for such question. But method 1 works for all kinds of questions.